What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to another Epic 7 video. Today we're going to talk about the custom Mystic summons, but I'm not going to break down each and every character. I already did that over on the Amazon channel, guys. It's not up as of recording, but hopefully it'll be live when you guys are watching this video. I'll put up a thumbnail and title. If it's not up yet, just keep searching. Watch that one before or after this one as I go through each and every single character available on this list, every single one of them, talk about if they got moved up, out of the meta, buffs, nerfs, everything addressed, currently up to date for March 2023. So make sure y'all watch that, guys. I would appreciate the support over there. Now we have some very important stuff to break down in this video as well, guys. Some of you should not be summoning on this custom Mystic summon banner, so we're going to break down all the details, how it works if you weren't here last year, or maybe you just forgot, because some of you guys shouldn't be pulling here, who should be pulling, and if you do decide to pull, once you watch my other video and hear all my thoughts on every single character that are up to date, my most common question after that is, who should I pick between X and Y car, APOC, Ravia, or Stenny? Right? Something like that. I'm going to give you guys some criteria to follow that will maybe help you guys narrow down and really ultimately pick one for your account, because most of y'all watching are only going to be able to pick one, if any at all, as this is an expensive summon banner. 10,000 mystics is nothing to scoff at if you have to go to pity, and we can't always just choose every single character. So I'm going to help you guys, guide you, and determine which one is best for your account. So stay tuned. Let's break it down. Alrighty, y'all. I got the custom Mystic Summon stove page brought up. Let's go ahead and break down the details. If you weren't, here last year to see it, this is the second iteration, but there's some important stuff you guys need to be aware of. So we'll go through this quick. Account rank 10 or above. Schedule. It's live as of watching this, guys, as of Thursday. 50 mystic medals per summon, and that will give you coins, which we're going to talk about here in just a second. You get to pick both the 4-star and the 5-star. Here's something very important, though. Moonlight heroes that were released 6 months before the end of custom mystic summon 420 aren't available. So units such as, I believe it was Zeo, Lone Crescent Bologna, and Death Dealer Ray, and then for the 4-stars, Furious, and there should be one other, guys. Let me know in the comments below if there was another 4-star. I do wish, guys, I mentioned this in the other video as well, that I think they should just remove the 6-month clause. It would be nice if players could pick up Zeo right now through this summon, Mystic summons, as there are some cons where we're going to talk about that, why some of y'all shouldn't be summoning here. But maybe just leave out like Lone Crescent Bologna. Let me know what y'all think about that. I really would try and push Smilegate to just allow more units here, as this honestly isn't like a super amazing rotation, and just adding kind of those restrictions just makes it feel a little bit worse. I'd like there to be way more pros than cons. But let's keep going here, guys. So we get to choose the 4-star and the 5-star, right? Limited collab heroes can be summoned, obviously. Let's see, same drop rates as the Mystic summon, right? And we can see that here they show the drop rates as well. So far everything seems normal. This is where things get a little tricky here, guys. We have a coin shop. So instead of just summoning and getting pity, right, 200 pities on the Mystic banner to get a guaranteed unit, right, the pity per se, this time the pity is in the form of coins. So 200 summons, which is 200 pulls, would give a pity on the Mystic rotation. This time you get 200 coins, and you can just straight up buy the 5-star if you want, or you can buy the 4-star 110, which is also the same amount of pity. Now the difference is, this is where things can get very good if you get lucky. Let's say we pull 110 times and we get Commander Pavel on that 110th pull, right? Just an example. Well, guess what, guys? We get Commander Pavel naturally, and we still have 110 coins. That means we can also pick up the Moon Bunny Dominio, or whatever 4-star you chose, right, guys? Just replace that in this example, whatever 5-star and 4-star. You get to double dip. If you get lucky and you pull that hero here, and let's say you pulled it in 90, you can do 20 more pulls to get your 4-star if you wanted, or just spend those 90 extra coins on any of these extra bonus items like Greater Mod Gems or Greater Arty Charms. So that's kind of the pros of this custom Mystic summon. To recap, you get to choose the 5-star and the 4-star. So if you miss something, you don't want to wait for them to come all the way back in a rotation. Now is your time to strike and get that unit, as long as they weren't the 6-month period, right? Zeo, no Zeo, Lone Crescent Bologna, etc. On top of that, too, if you get lucky, you get to get a lot of extras as well. Now, let's start with the cons. Who shouldn't be summoning on this banner, guys? I want to highlight some text here real fast and show you guys why some of y'all should not be summoning this. Definitely. So, yeah, it's right here. After a certain amount of time, I'll max this for y'all so you can maybe read it a little bit cleanly? Little bit easier, I should just say. After a certain amount of time, the Moon Mirage coin shop will be closed, and all the Moon's Mirage coins you own will reset and not be available for the next custom Mystic summon. So guys, even though this is a second iteration, they're stating that if this comes back again same time next year, you can't use any leftover coins. Now what happens on a normal Mystic banner, guys? Let's say you were trying to pull Commander Pavel, right? or let's say the current banner, you're trying to pull Briar Witch Isari. I believe she's on the current rotation. Let's say you pulled 5,000 mystics, but didn't get her. You're completely out of mystics. You're free to play. You can't spend any more. It feels bad, of course. You didn't get the hero you wanted, but those 5,000 or 100 pity summons will go over to the next rotation that you guys want to pull on, which is really nice, right? You're halfway to getting a guaranteed unit. And so that pity kind of carries over per se. They're stating here, guys, if you spend 100 pulls, so 100 coins, 5,000 mystics worth, and you don't get anything, the best you can do is spend 10 more summons to try to get a 4-star, or your SOL. You're out of luck, guys. You won't be able to get that 5-star if you're free to play and you can't spend or grind enough mystics to get that 200 coins if you're just unlucky. So that's kind of the big thing here. So let me recap or restate that for y'all. If you are free to play and you don't have 10,000 mystics saved up, I would highly, highly, highly advise not pulling on this custom mystic summon. I know that sucks. But that is the safest route, and I don't want any of you guys to regret it. I already have a lot of people in my Twitch chat in my guild that went big, and guess what? Now they got to either spend $400 to $500 to top off and get that, you know, guaranteed pity with the 200 coins, or they just have to buy some other stuff here and settle with some wasted mystics. Now, that being said, this is a gacha game. Some of you guys are risk takers, and you're still going to go for it despite my warning. Best of luck. I hope you guys win big. I want all of you to get lucky, but a lot of y'all, this is just how luck works. A lot of y'all aren't going to get lucky, so heed my warning. As long as you know what you're getting into and you're okay with that risk and maybe losing big, hey, that's on you. As long as you're okay with the consequences, maybe go for it, because this is, you know, some of y'all do like taking some big risks here and there. So hopefully that breaks it down, guys. There are pros and cons to this. If you guys are light to medium spenders, right, remember Amazon coins. This video is not sponsored, but when y'all watch my other video on the Amazon channel, if you guys do need to spend for some a little bit extra mystics, you know, might as well save some money. But hey, this is not a sponsored video. Essentially, guys, if you can spend a little bit, medium to light spender, let's say you pull 150 times, you have 150 coins, you'll have to get, you know, you'll have to spend a little bit to get those extra 50 pulls. Not too bad, all things considered, if you were a spender. But if you're free to play, be very, very careful not summoning here, as you could get burned big time. All right, so I think that's it for that. Let's go ahead and talk about how to choose between X and Y heroes, which ones to decide on ultimately for you. So let's say you decide to summon the custom mystic summons because you have enough mystics, or you don't mind spending a little bit to top off, or let's just say you want to use this advice in general for future custom mystic rotations. Maybe you're summoning on the custom mystics instead, and you want to decide between, let's say you want to decide between one of these units here and there. I'm going to help you guys break it down, give you some criteria to follow, and determine which one will be best for you. So you're going to ask yourself a few questions. Let's go ahead and go through them right now. Okay, let's do a quick example. Let's say you guys watching right now are asking me, Car, should I choose between, let's say, Bellion? I'm going to choose, you know, two, maybe some of y'all consider top tier choices, Bellion or Conquer Lilies. Let's say you guys are just between these two. These are just examples, and I want to choose these two because they are probably the most polar opposites. When we start talking about generous units, like Spectre Tenebria or Apocalypse Ravi, for example, units like Pirate Captain Flan that can kind of fulfill different play styles across the board. Universal units, it gets a little bit trickier, but I'll even talk about that at the end here. Let's start with Bellion and Conquer Lilius. Let's say I want to choose between one of these two. Car, who should I pick? The first thing I ask every single time I get asked that, let's say in Twitch chat, I'll say what kind of player you are. And the reason I'm asking this is because certain units are better for certain styles. Now, no matter what, a lot of y'all can adopt or make any hero work for any style, but naturally, depending on their kit, their style, their stats, some units are going to gravitate and be more favorable in certain playstyles. So the main playstyles we're going to just quickly bring up here is aggressive and fast. So units are comps like cleavers, aggressive aggro is what they call them, and then, you know, anything that's going mega fast, doing tons of damage, and trying to kill you before any retaliation. Those are going to be your fast players, fast and aggro cleaver. The standard to tanky, that's going to be your bruiser style players, players that don't mind going second, that can take a hit, and they're going to try to survive and then clap back after your opponent is gassed out. So let's differentiate between those two styles, and that's going to make things a lot easier. Now, a lot of y'all are going to fall in between. Maybe you're a standard player that can play a little bit faster and aggressive. That's even better. If you guys can pivot and play multiple styles, that's fine. Just try to find out which one you're most comfortable with or which style you're playing in this current meta, the one that you like the most, and then that'll be your determining factor. So between Bellion and Conqueror Lilius, right? This is just an example, X and Y. You guys can extrapolate this to other units, other two choices. But let's say, Carl, who should I pick between Bellion and Lilius? Now, Bellion, as we were talking, guys, is going to be better for your more standard / tanky players, because you're going to use this to battle a lot of those faster cleaver style players. Because what do they want? They want to go fast. They want to hit you hard with a lot of AoEs usually, and with a lot of souls on top of that. A lot of times too, in aggressive comps, they're picking this unit, Spectre Tenebria here. Where'd she go, guys? I lost her. Anyways, you know what she looks like. We're Specteni right here. And Bellion is one of the best counters for that, right? She has the reach to hit stealth units. She stops the souls from Togga Hells, any soul gain in general, and she can counter, or also tanky players like sometimes to run injury as well to grind down other tanky or, you know, slow players too. So Bellion is going to be more of your counter style unit, going to be more to stop aggressive mages, souls, things like that, and AoE units on top of that. So Bellion will be more for your bruisers, slower, standard style players. Not to say cleavers can't use her. I just don't typically see Bellion used in that style. Sylvian, though. Sylvian can be used for standard players, but typically, right, Conqueror Lilius is going to shine really well in fast comps. She's going to open the match. She's an opener, going to give her team vigor up, and then you stack that with another attack up unit, and your entire team is doing so much damage. To follow it up, she's going to provoke, as well as just dual attack to bring even more damage to the table. So this is where the more aggressive, fast players are going to want to pick this unit up. Okay, so those are kind of just some basic rules. Even slow, tankier players can use Conqueror Lilius, guys, but in my example, right, these two are going to gravitate more towards on that spectrum of slow to fast, tanky to aggressive, etc. Slow, all that stuff, right? So just kind of find out where you are, and then you can kind of extrapolate that and figure out which ones are going to fit you better. Now, let's say you're more of a collector, guys, and at that point, you just pick whichever one is your favorite. Follow your heart. I know that sounds lame, but there are players out there that are like that. Now, if things get a little bit trickier, I mentioned some universal units. Let's say a unit like Apocalypse Ravi, which can work for cleavers, which can work for standard players, which for slow players. It's going to be a little bit different. We're going to have to break down some extra rules here and there. For example, when I was talking about Bellion, guys, I mentioned in my other video, which you guys need to watch, there's some other things that can help, and this is where you're just going to have to ask more experienced players for extra info that will maybe help you guys make that nudge towards locking in X hero. Bellion, for example, I may not recommend her to the newer players, only because even though she's insane, right, for all the aforementioned reasons, a lot of times she's a must pre-ban unit. If a player is going to play units like Spectre Tenebria, is going to play a lot of AoE or needs souls and a lot of mages, they're probably going to have Bellion pre-banned already, meaning your choice for picking this with your 10,000 mystics feels a little bit bad, right? She's not going to be able to be played in RTA. You can still use her in Arena Guild Wars, but if your unit is banned all the time in RTA, that doesn't feel great. So that would be like an extra thing that I can help you guys with, and you're just going to have to find that out from asking in, you know, the comments on my Twitch chat, Discord. You guys can reach out to me anytime, but those are some extra tips. In general, for universal units, you'll have to figure out which one, you know, is currently best in the meta. So check out my other video where I talk about each and every unit. But hopefully that helped you guys out determining or deciding if you guys are down to 2 units. Figure out which one fits your style the best, and then just lock that unit in. Don't worry, guys. You'll have a chance to get all these other units. Like I mentioned, custom Mystic Summons isn't for everybody, so don't sweat it. Just wait for those Mystic rotations. That way, if 4 heroes on the Mystic rotations, you guys will get whichever hero you're wanting. Just be patient and save up those Mystics. Make sure you grind out that secret shop. Do all your 100 events for the gold, and even your free-to-plays will get the character you want, okay? Anyways, I think we'll wrap up there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't hesitate to ask me. Hit me up for additional info. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out, guys.